Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Barber Chair podcast. Today, I'm gonna do the part 2 of my story. Stay tuned, pay attention, listen, enjoy, because I've got something to say, like many of us do. But I think it's gonna help a lot of men, because we live in a society we say men don't talk, so we're gonna start talking. So this part 2 is gonna be a bit personal, my story, but I want to be able to share it such a way that it will help a lot of men who have been through similar thing that I've been through. So stay tuned, like, subscribe. Yeah, let's go on. So in 2021, something happened to me that's it was a bit peculiar, very strange. It was later on I realized, and I got to know that it wasn't strange at all, that a lot of men go through it. What am I talking about? I'm talking about parental alienation. Few years, about 8 years of marriage, in 2021, June, all fell apart. My life really changed. So on that fateful day, I came back home after work, as per usual, and I came home to meet no one at home. My wife then and my kids, 2 kids, were nowhere to be found. Mind you, she was heavily pregnant. When I got home, it was just strange, because normally I would have been told, I would have known where they are. I worried for hours, called friends, family. There was nothing positive. Later, I got a text from her saying they were in the park, and they will get back home. So I felt like let me just rest a bit in the sofa and just wait for it. I fell asleep. I woke up. It was almost midnight. They were nowhere to be found. So I panicked. I was so worried. You can't even imagine the emotions that I was going through. I began to call. Still no positive news about them. I have to be honest, that night I did not sleep. I worried and fell asleep in my worry. I probably fell asleep for about 2 hours or 1 hour, because I felt like she's probably somewhere, she's with friends or something. So there was one friend that I thought I was gonna really go there in the morning to find out what's happening, because I haven't really heard anything from her. So early in the morning, I made my way up to her, only to be told she hasn't seen them. Now at this point, I was so worried. So at that time, obviously I was working in the barber shop. So I went to the barber shop just to work. So I felt like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. I need to report it to the police. I phoned the police. So they came. They did well. It wasn't too long. They came to my shop to interview me. Now my shop was around Croydon, in the heart of Croydon, the Brighton Road. So it's just a quite busy area. So they interviewed me and assured me they're going to do their best to find them. You know, I was worried. She's heavily pregnant with 2 children. Where is she going? It's not normal. So I went on with my work, and after a couple of hours, give me about 2 hours, a couple of hours, the police came back again. And I remember very well, it was the lady and the gentleman. They came back again. I was excited when I saw them. I was like, okay, this is quick. It means they found something. They found them. Something has happened. Well, it was a good news. They had found them. But there was a twist. Immediately, the officer started speaking and saying I've been charged my wife is spoken and is laid charges on me, and you will not even imagine the charges on me. Mind you, I've been married to her for over 8 years. The charges was abuse, physical abuse, financial abuse, rape, child abuse, like all of them. Just a list of them. They said a few of them, and just to let me know whilst they handcuffed me. Now, you have a look at a barber shop setting. It was quite busy. Now, a lot of people know me there. I've built a reputation there. A lot of clients, everyone got to know me. And suddenly, they are seeing this man that was... Man, yeah, I'm a Christian. So, I'm going around telling people, like, stuff, like... like being an example. For them to see that I've been handcuffed. You don't know what that did to me. They paraded me through the streets into the van. Now, I had just finished a haircut, so that was good. Imagine they came in the middle of the trim. But anyway, I was just paraded to the van, and I was so annoyed, so angry, so saddened. Like, I was so sad. The emotions was just so much. I was like, I couldn't hold back tears. I was put in a van and the driver was just driving so reckless. I remember saying to them, bro, just chill, man. Not everyone you handcuff is guilty, you know. It's sharp. The way it was just sad. The way they treat you. Anyway, I got to the station. I had to spend a good hours in the cells. It felt like a movie. 1 minute I was working, coming home, seeing my children where everything was okay. Seemingly, it was okay. As far as I'm concerned, but it wasn't. I was later given bail, and you cannot even describe what I felt, confusion, what to do, what not to do. Mind you, I didn't have money, so to find a lawyer that you gotta pay. And I remember vividly. I remember so much. I sought for a lawyer, and for consultation it was £1,000. I paid that £1,000, and he probably spoke to me for less than 5 minutes. All he said was, I can't do anything about it, and I should just concentrate backing my case in court. I can't do anything, sue my wife and all that. I can't do anything, forget it. This was tough. It was really, really tough. And where we used to live, it's like, at the time, things were not very good financially, so we're on a bit of a help from the government, so there was a bit of benefit to cover the rent. Soon as she left, I was told, I'm a single man, so I've got to pay the rent. I couldn't. So it got worse. I became homeless. I didn't have no place to go. I needed to find a place as well to live. On top of it, I had to still go back to work. I was doubling that quantity surveying in the barber shop. I was still working. I don't know how I did it, but I knew I had to work because the legal fees are coming, one after the other. I needed money to file my case. I remember getting another job that was Amazon Prime. So I would do, I'll go quantity surveying for 3 days. Then in the evening, I'll do the Amazon Prime. And when the days I'll go to the barber shop, I'll finish in the evening, do another Amazon Prime, stacking money just to pay legal bills. At this moment, during this time, I was served with court charges, court orders, should I say, one after the other, called non-molestation order, restriction order, all the orders in the world, one after the other. And I remember the gentleman who came to serve me in my shop. He was like, "Bro, your ex-wife has got the best lawyers in town." Yeah, that's what you want, isn't it? That's exactly what you want to hear. She's got the best lawyers, and so be careful. It's like, I stand no chance. Like, you don't have money to pay good lawyers. Already you are guilty until proven innocent. It was a difficult time. I fell into depression. I don't know how I made it through, but somehow my love for my children, and I don't know, I think for me it was my faith, and that kept me through. I knew there was something God probably was doing out of this, but it was very difficult. It went on for a good year. I couldn't see my children. I went to court case after court case. Initially, I was able to find a barrister who represented me, but I have to say, like, even finding evidence, like text messages, something just to back your case, it's long. I got to know later that she's got evidence and things against me. I had nothing. You know, no relationship, no marriage is perfect. And sometimes there will be quarrels, there will be stuff, you know, every relationship has it. But in this case, I didn't know our bad times was being recorded, which was the case. So I had to deal with it. I went to court. Like I said, initially represented by a barrister. At some points, I couldn't pay for her anymore. I had to represent myself. It was an uphill battle. It was very difficult. I was dealing with a whole system, the family court system, the social service, like everything. The police came back to me after a month or so, and they were like, "There's nothing in it. I'm free. They can't hold anything against me." So the criminal case was dropped. But guess what? When the criminal case is dropped, the family court takes over. And with the family court, I learned something that I've never heard before. It's called the balance of probability. That just means that, and if you're a man here, maybe Linda, you know, when in a criminal case, it's black and white, it's evidence, black and white. Either you did it or you didn't do it. And in the family court system, it's balance of probability. It means what is the likelihood that you will commit that crime, or you will do that offense, or you will do this. And unfortunately, it was stuck against me. It was just so difficult. As a man, unfortunately, when the woman cry foul, rape and everything, is you are in trouble. The most difficult part was that there was no one. At the time, my friends, the church, people did my best to help, to encourage. But at the end of the day, when it comes to it and you are left alone and you realize how much there's no one around you, you're supposed to be a husband and a father. I'm supposed to come home and see my children. I was used to coming home see my children run to me every single day. That was cut off. And the social service system is, I don't know how to describe it. It's so twisted, it's so wrong. It was later also, I was told that social service obviously interviewed the children. My children were 4 or 5 years old, if anything, about the time they interviewed them. And I was told during the process that my daughter during the interview said I squeezed her neck to death, and it was recorded. You know what? It just happened. When I usually come home, I always play fight with my children. We play fight. We are falling on the ground, on the floor, just rolling around. Let's just play fight. In the process of play fight, I will hold her neck, she will hold my neck. You know them stuff. Like when you're a father and love your children, you know this stuff. You can't even. I didn't even have to explain this. But I have to explain it. So they interview her, and that's what she said. She said, Dad tried to squeeze my neck to death, and it was written there. And it came out in court. So the whole social service system, they don't help no one. It was later I found out also that when she left, obviously she went to a refuge where she was catered for her needs, and they heard her story. So it was it was perfect. Like you run away from your marriage, from the abusive man, and you go to a refuge. So she built a case well. You know, at the end of the day, later I realized that a lot of men go through this. And whilst I was going through it, I had a friend who was literally going through the same thing. And I saw the papers served to him and the charges and everything is the same. You will think we are partner in crime. It's just literally copy and paste. It's like the same thing. Like rape, child abuse, all the abuse, everything. It's just literally the same. I'm like, how could that be? Like they have the same thing. With time, also, through my work as a barber, I got to meet a lot of people, a lot of men who have gone through the same thing. And I have to say, one of the things that helped me most through the period is like speaking to men in this chair and just realizing like this is not unique to me. It's not like the whole world is against me. It's something that literally happens. And a lot of men who share their story with me, what they're going through, or who they know, their brothers or friends who have gone through the same thing. It's sad, but it did encourage me to be able to live the next day. Today, I sit here and I tell you this story because, like I said, we've got a lot to say, man. Unfortunately, there are a lot of men who could not recover from this. Some have committed suicide. You know, the suicide rate in men is over the roof. You know, I'm someone who used to see people out there sleeping rough, seemingly crazy, like they're crazy, they're mad, like they lost their mind, especially men. And I used to look at them like, come on, man, they do something with your life. Why would you just come on? But when I went through what I went through, that's when I began to realize that mental health is real. And I was very ignorant. There are a lot of men, like I said, who have gone through this and have committed suicide. They weren't able to go through it and stay strong and see a better day. You probably know someone who's gone through this. Same thing. Parental alienation. We need to speak out. You might be asking, so what was the end of my story? What was the end with the court case? What happened to the children? I did not win the case. It was overwhelming. How would you win the case with representing your own self in the court with the best lawyers? You stand no chance. So, since 2021 to date, I have not seen my children again. Up to now, I haven't seen them. All that is left now is the memories of them. Enoch, Mercy, and the unborn one at that time who is now called Zion. I haven't seen them. I still pay for them monthly, but I still haven't seen them. In the end, they wanted me to accept the charges to be able to go through some course, which apparently will help me as a man to be a father and a husband. But for you to go through that course, you got to accept the charges. I couldn't accept it. It wasn't in my interest anyway for me to accept something that I haven't done, to be able to go for a course to see my children. So I left it. But I hope one day I'll see them, and I hope they are doing fine. There's someone watching this video and you know you've been through the same thing, or you are going through the same thing. One of the things we want to do is tell the world. Men are going to speak now. The injustice, the system, what is we are up against is a bit too much. So we gotta talk. And through this podcast, what I'm gonna do is get people to sit in this chair and tell their story. Mental health, parental alienation, just the day-to-day bustle, day-to-day struggle of being a man, the expectation as a father, as a young man. So I get that. And we gotta talk. Our aim through this podcast is to help men. We can reconcile children with their fathers, and one day I could see my children again. So this is my story. This is my story, what I've been through. If I did it, if I made it, you can as well. My faith helped me. I'm a Christian, and I would say that is the reason why I stay through. What have you got? But you can start speaking. You can have the help. Don't stay in silence. Let's talk. So this is my story again. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment. Especially if you've been through it or you know someone who's been through it, comment. Let me know what you think. I have to say that sometimes it's really hard to say these things without being labeled as not liking women or hating women. That's not the case at all. I have a mother, a sister, and I love them a lot. I still have my firstborn, my daughter, that who is from a separate relationship. The interesting thing is that I still see her, but I was deemed not fit enough to see the others. But I can still see my firstborn. I was not stopped. How does that even make sense? Yes, so comment if you know someone who's gone through it, or my story has touched you and you want to share yours, or DM me for you to come on board and share your story. Let's be strong. I'm gonna probably with time get experts, lawyers, family lawyers, mental health experts, social service people, all the law, because there are a lot of questions that I have that unfortunately I can't even answer. But hopefully we can get the experts here, and they will speak on what really means, what really I went through, and why it's all like that. So again, if you haven't followed, subscribe, follow, like, share. Let's take it out there. Let a lot of people, let the world know that we are men and we're gonna talk. Peace.